Fandoms, an inside view. Fandoms exist all over. If you can think about something, it probably has a fandom associated with it. Like movies, such as Harry Potter, video games, such as Zelda, and even shows, like Adventure Time. We asked students on campus about their fandoms, and then we looked into what fandoms they were into.
I follow avidly several other things with large fandoms. I'm an avid follower of the Star Wars universe, Warhammer 40K. I've read the Heresy series. I played the tabletop mini for Heresy. Lord of the Rings. I've read the Lost Tales, the Silmarillion, the Hobbit, obviously the trilogy. Probably more than my fair share of particularly Lord of the Rings.
I have plenty of things which I have a lot of interest in, a number of video games, I was part of the World of Warcraft base for a while, and I'm getting into the Sons of the Solar Empire now, which can be a kind of an inclusive group here on campus. Some shows.
We found out that fandoms do affect students' daily lives.
Well, they can. Let's see. I guess recently I was watching Jericho, which is a TV series basically chronicling what would happen to the U.S. after a major nuclear terrorist attack. But it's about 2 seasons in length, and I was watching it while I was busy working. I would go through 3 or 4 hour episodes at night while I was working and getting ready for bed, and so I guess it did kind of detract in that way. It hadn't gotten unhealthy yet.
Right. Well, what I find when I'm doing this is, when I get interested in something, I tend to go for very short stints of it, for about a month and a half. When I got the game Skyrim when it came out, I played it very heavily for about a month and a half, and then I kind of stopped. It didn't so much really impact my ability to do other things. It's just whenever I had free time, that was where it went. No, I didn't generally find that my fandoms interfered too much with my life.
I've had a lot of friends that are really, really big into Twilight, which I am not very big into. Like, I liked the books, but the movies were not good, and I have friends that are like, Twilight this, Twilight that, Twilight, 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 and it's really annoying.
So as you can see, there's a lot of different opinions when it comes to fandoms. So let's delve a little bit deeper and see what else we can find. When it comes to fan involvement, there's definitely a divide between the levels of participation of fans.
Well, I mean, you're going to have that divide in basically any group, and fandoms are no different. I mean, you can find the same kind of thing if you go to a Comic-Con. I have one friend in particular who is into steampunk and Victorian-era steampunk cosplay, and nice guy, interesting to talk to, but I don't think I've ever seen him not dressed in character. But it's not like most of them aren't like wearing the t-shirt around all the time or any of that.
I think there can be, because there are sometimes those like really insane people, but then there are also some people that are just kind of chill, that are like, yeah, I really like it, yeah, I know all the things about it, but I'm not gonna dress up like Edward and get gold contacts so that I look like a vampire. Like, there are extremists, and there are people that are like, oh yeah, good stuff, I like that.
Do I find that they're a bit sane? Yes, I would say that they are a bit sane. I think they're also partially a little insane at times. I don't think it's terrifyingly abnormal. I've got a lot of I've got several of my friends who claim to be members of the Pony fandom, MLP, My Little Pony fandom, and it doesn't very much impact the rest of what they do. but it is something that they'll wear the stupid T-shirts, they'll have the stupid belts, but it's other than making a couple of strange stylistic choices, I don't think it really cuts in too much to what they end up doing. No more than somebody watching, rather than going on say Facebook and scrolling through that, they instead watch My Little Pony episodes.
In fandoms where participation is voluntary, there's a discrepancy in the amount of time spent on them.
Well, actually, probably a lot. I find I have the kind of work where I spend lots and lots of time sitting behind a desk and staring at my screen. When I signed up for Pottermore, and I'm not a Harry Potter buff by any means, but when I signed up for Pottermore, I was doing it mostly for the personality test at the beginning, but I found that I ended up spending, it's like Facebook. You just work for a little while and then you're doing this other thing. I just end up spending more of my free time than I'm comfortable with engaged in them.
Me personally, I tend not to spend terribly much time with Warhammer 40K, the tabletop game that they have. You got these little models that you buy and that you paint them and you assemble them how you want, and then you put them on the field and you play with them. So I'll spend maybe an hour a week, maybe two, usually less, doing that. What I find is it gives me a sort of an artistic outlet when I want some time for everybody else to just go away and leave me alone. I'll tell people, hey, I'm painting my dolls, go away. But, generally speaking, no, I don't find I put much time into these.
So now we can see that people are more generally accepting of these fans, as well as being able to see how these fandoms really affect the people who are fans of them. We found that there were both positive and negative effects of fans on their fandoms.
I think there are two sides to that, because there are the people that are like true fans that just really love the material, and then there are people that go completely insane and do weird things with the material. Right. Like I read a thing one time that was like this chick talking about how J.K. Rowling stole the idea from Sirius Black from Twilight, because apparently Sirius Black is a werewolf. And like things like that I can find degrading to the material, whereas people that just genuinely like the material, that are just really big fans, are much different than that, and they don't degrade it in the way that other people do.
There are a lot of cases where, let's take Doctor Who. People have gone on and on about Doctor Who and how great he is, and it kind of rubbed me the wrong way, really, because people were a little too crazy about it, and so I kind of was a big fan, and then that was sort of reinforced when I finally watched an episode. And the intro to this is Doctor Who standing, looking shocked down a hallway, and says, "But it's dinosaurs on a spaceship," and that kind of made me facepalm a little bit, because dinosaurs on a spaceship just made me a little sad. Yeah, I think over-enthusiastic fans can be a detriment to a fandom, but at the same time, they can also bring on a lot of people that wouldn't otherwise have watched it. A lot of people that I know have said, well, before I start criticizing it, I'm going to watch it, and so I know what I'm criticizing. And then they watch it, and then they get swallowed by the amalgamous blob that is the fandom.
Well, fandoms have the benefit of producing a lot of revenue for whatever group they're part of. So, naturally, if I was a big Jericho buff and I wanted to see more episodes, I would probably find myself being more engaged. Star Trek and the vast amount of time and man hours that's gone into maintaining that particular Star Trek universe. When the fans get it and start taking it over, and you've got thousands of people, tens of thousands of people spending lots and lots of time, countless hours, adding to maintaining this universe. If we were able to take the Star Trek universe and apply it to something meaningful, when we get to the point where we're doing space exploration and trying to find code of ethics or whatnot for interstellar travel, how interesting would it be if we start referencing the Star Trek fan universe, but at least people are spending this time and effort, at least they're engaged in something, which is more than I could hope for a lot of people.